J-E-T-S.
Good job today, man. It's one at a time, and we'll get the job done. Y'all know what to say on three. 1, 2, 3.
And the home of the Jets.
Mr. Primetime.
Victory Tuesday. How you doing?
This brings me back to like the Gase days where I see the antlers, I just keep laughing. So how you doing, man?
Pretty good, man. Hanging in there.
How was your Christmas?
It's been better.
Yeah, I hear you, dude.
Just, that time of year, a lot of shit going on. So didn't feel right this year. Obviously, with a lot of shit going on. So how was yours?
Not too bad, getting through it. What is up, everybody? It's a Victory Tuesday. This is a very exciting day for us as we're not used to Victory Tuesdays, usually Victory Mondays.
These things are pretty good. Corona Refresca. Corona Refresca.
Corona Refresca.
Pretty solid.
We're here for you guys. Perfect timing. What's up, everybody? Ryan's post-game reaction was my exact reaction to the win. Apparently, this win has caused some problems because
you got to tell me because I haven't watched anything. So who's celebrating it and who's pissed off?
I haven't watched anything either. I just go by what, how we felt, what we did. And then I got tagged in so many tweets on Monday. And I was like, I don't understand why everybody's so angry at me, which is ridiculous. But like, it's a game, man. Like the season's over. It's literally a meaningless game. If you want to cheer for the tank, cheer for it. If you're happy they won, more power to you as well. Like I don't really care. Like I didn't wake up like Monday morning. I didn't really care. I was like, whatever. They won. Who cares? Who cares? It's irrelevant.
That was my exact reaction. I mean, who gives a shit at this point? If you want to get excited about seeing young guys play well, that's fine. But at the end of the day, they also missed out potentially on a chance to be picking 4 or 5 versus wherever they're at right now, like 8 or 9. So big difference. Maybe it means something, maybe not. I think it's clear Joe Douglas needs all the help he can get. So is what it is, though.
Yeah, and it was so weird because, and then like I had to do a video about it. Dude, I literally got tagged in probably 40 tweets. It's just, and I knew that, as the stream was going on, I knew it was going to happen. Like, these guys aren't fans. They're rooting for a loss, all this stuff. And I'm like, first of all, we're trying to have some fun because the game was boring as hell. And the game is meaningless. So we're having to have fun. And then we root for whatever we root. And we're just having a good time with it. And the end was exciting because you're like, do you root for the field goal? Do you root for the miss? What are you rooting for? All this stuff. But it's like, if you win, you feel good for Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall and CJ Mosley because these guys are fighting their ass to try to find ways to win because they're tired of losing. So you feel good for them, man, because they deserve it. Because they've been dealt a lousy hand this year from Rodgers getting down to the general manager being incompetent to bad coaching. They got to overcome a lot to win games these days. So when they do win, you feel happy for them. Bryce Huff, all these guys. Like, so I get it. And players aren't going to tank. That's the thing that drives me crazy. Like, bro, the players aren't trying to lose. No shit. We know that. Like we know
more often than not, that draft pick is actually taking the spot of one of your players. So there's never been a player that's gone out there to tank. But from an organizational standpoint, certainly you can have that mindset.
Yeah, and there's certain teams that in the last game of the season, you will see that they are quote unquote, they're not tanking, but players are suddenly not playing for certain reasons because they want to lose a game because they want to get draft position. It happens all over the place. So it's so weird. So if they win, you're happy about it. Cool. You're happy for the players, all this stuff. But at the other side, it's like, well, the other notion was, well, if they have a high draft pick, I don't trust Joe Douglas. Well, I mean, that's a whole nother story. Because if you're scared to have a high pick, you think they're going to blow it. Well, that's kind of an indictment on your organization, isn't it? That's kind of, you shouldn't be scared of your general manager.
I mean, look what we're basing it off of, though. In his 4 drafts, I mean, he's had one that's been a home run that was built off, the back of the Jamal Adams trade. And other than that, you've had AVT injuries, Becton injuries, Zach Wilson complete bust. Will McDonald can't see the field. So I don't know. I feel like you want to be picking top 5 as possible. Leave the decision out of his hands. If you can get Joe Alt or Harrison or somebody like that, game-changing player, do it. But, you got to be in position to do it. And I understand fans that are nervous about Douglas because I am too.
Yeah, I mean, I am too. It's the same thing. It's like, you have a top 5 pick. You can either pick a guy there, you can get your wide receiver, offensive lineman, you can trade back. You can trade back because you don't have a second round pick. So there's a lot of things you can do to it. And to me, it's just like you want to use the best resources you possibly can to improve this team for next year. A top pick gets you that. You drop down to 10, 12, 14, whatever. I mean, that's where you were last year. Look how that worked out. So, but to me, it's like I don't have all this anger and all this. It's like wild. Like, because the way I look at it is like this: there are no fake Jet fans because we haven't won shit. We haven't made the playoffs in 13 years. They haven't won a Super Bowl in 50. Like who wants to come? Literally, who enjoys losing year in and year out and embarrassing yourself? Right? Like, there's no fake fans, dude. It's like we're all diehards. Everybody has their own view of how you want to handle it, but that's you know what I mean. It's just wild.
You're not a real fan if you don't root the way that I root.
Yeah, it's wild. And then it's just
It's
like
going on forever though.
And you watch Saleh talk, and it's like it's funny how they handle things after a win as opposed to after a loss. Like you see how like the Jets page right now is promoting Pro Bowlers and promoting all these great stats. They better hope they win on Thursday because on Friday it's gonna be we're back to like doom and gloom again, right? I
mean, they were promoting that shit last week too, though, after a loss. So
yeah, but it's like they get that little edge to them when they win a game. It's like, oh, I'm like, bro, you blew a 20-point lead, man. They were
excited. Don't rain on their parade.
Dude, they were a missed field goal away from Woody Johnson looking ridiculously foolish because before the game they announced everybody's coming back, and the story came out today with Albert Breer that better not be right. Where the Saleh expects the whole staff to come back next year, like the whole staff. Like, bro, if you go from
like offensive line coach, like everybody,
100%. Like listen, I understand you want to bring back Hackett and Saleh, Douglas, all that stuff. If Downing and Carter don't lose their jobs, I mean, if you have one of the worst offenses in the history of the game, and you come back status quo, extra, bringing everybody back, that is pure insanity.
Well, they're convinced Rodgers is going to fix everything. So,
bro, you can't. The coaching on the offensive line is bad. So. The offensive line is bad. I mean, because the reason why it's bad is because you look all across the league and every team is dealing with injuries on the offensive line. Everybody has the same injury problems all across. Our guys can't figure out who to block. There's guys running in free, and this is going on all year long. It's not like it's like a anomaly. This has been the entire season. They look like they're poorly coached. So if you have that kind of effect, you can't say, you know what, you guys, bad luck this year. Let's come back next year, run it back again. That's crazy to me, dude.
I feel like the decision was kind of taken out of Saleh's hands last year, though. That's the thing. So, like, maybe now he's just going to be more affirmative and be like, no, like, this is my coaching staff. These are the guys that I'm rolling with. Maybe now's the time for him to put his foot down.
I don't know. I mean, that to me is...
he didn't want to fire LaFleur. That's why I was bringing that up during the stream, because you got the Rams offense now that's looking great. He's going to be a future head coach one day.
So the comment is, happy holidays, everyone. Who else is looking forward to another year of poverty football?
Another year?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm excited for next year.
I'm not as excited as other people are because I have a tremendous amount of questions of how they're going to rebuild this offensive line, the free agency, things like that. I think you can retool. You could use all you could rebrand, retool, reunite, regalvanize. You can use whatever words you want. I'm still not buying it. I don't have the same faith that everybody else has in Aaron Rodgers as a recruiter. Replenish. I don't. Aaron Rodgers as a recruiter, Joe Douglas as a general manager, and then once you get all these pieces into place, Saleh and Hackett coaching them, I have no faith in any of that. So,
I mean, they've done the job on the defense. So now get them a quarterback, which they have. He just has to stay healthy, protect him. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, no big deal. Just protect him. No big deal. Haven't done it in 5 years. Let's do it this year, though.
I was asking you during the game, though. You don't think this team was a playoff team with Aaron Rodgers playing quarterback?
I think he would have got hurt. I think he would have got hurt behind offensive.
I'm saying if he was playing the 15 games we played so far,
I don't think he would have lasted the full season. I think he would have got hurt.
If he did,
if that's a big if. And what's the other ifs? If the offensive line play good, if we can run the football, if we can catch the football,
not even saying anything else about the offensive line. Offensive line stays as it is. If Aaron Rodgers played 15 games, you don't think they're a playoff team?
Nope. I think this offensive line's
terrible. At least 8 wins. They're at least 8 wins.
8 wins. 8 wins, okay. But I think they're not making the playoffs, though. I don't like the way this team was built, dude. I don't. And I think he's a great player. He can do a lot of good things. When your offensive line is this bad, and I have questions about the coaching all across the board. So yeah, if you want to say
what's strange is that Rodgers didn't even like the blocking in that first game. So you would think like that would be the one area maybe they'd be like, all right, this
would be
is
a
the
red
guy that
flag.
can take the ball.
And how many times do you see him on the sideline shaking his head during a play calling?
That too. Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of things there that.
But that's where he can make those changes at the line, whereas Zach or Boyle or Simeon, like they're not going to think
or Flacco or Wentz or Brissett or Bridgewater.
Flacco is another story.
Minshew.
Bullshit. I hope he throws for 400 yards on Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night's gonna be. So for those curious, we will be streaming Thursday night the Elijah Moore revenge game, the Joe Flacco revenge game, and that is gonna be a.
It's gonna be Flacco for 400, Elijah Moore for like $180.
Ooh, that's gonna be a rough one. Amari Cooper's playing at a high level. I mean, the Jets defense, Sauce is playing at a great level. The Jets defense is good, but Cleveland's physical, dude. They're gonna beat. I think they're gonna get most of their benefit by our offense not doing anything. They're gonna get the ball in good field position a lot of times, and probably take advantage of it. But you could just see this
is gonna be one of those like 6-7 sack, 15 pressure type of games.
On a primetime stage. We can get like just embarrassed and the mocking and the joking, and then Friday Woody Johnson come out and be like, look, we got more Pro Bowlers on the team again. It's just
Flacco probably won't even need to throw the ball.
So
right down our throat,
the interesting thing was today, the last day and a half, about the Aaron Rodgers being active. And today was interesting because, like, honestly, if you want to see him in practice, I really at this point I don't care what he does. But he says he wanted to be on the IR, but he was overruled. What do you want to bet he was overruled by? What do you want to bet that Woody Johnson did that? And Woody Johnson's like, I want to see him on the practice field.
No, Woody Johnson wouldn't do that.
Why? Why? It serves no purpose. He's already in practice, dude. So do you think there's truly a value to have him running the scout team? He didn't want to. He was like, I want to be in the IR, just rehab. I'll be cool.
Well, they were still in it up until last week. So
yeah, but then right after they lost to the Dolphins, it's like the season's over. He's like, you know what? I'm not going to play. You know he's not going to play. He's practicing. He's rehabbing.
But why would Woody Johnson do that? Like that just doesn't make any sense.
Would Saleh and Douglas do that? Why would they say, you know what?
Something strange then.
Right? It's weird though, isn't it weird?
We know Rodgers didn't do it, so who did it then?
It's just so odd to me, man. Like, there's so many things that are odd with this team that nothing makes sense to me. It just doesn't. It's just, and now they all just cover each other's asses and they throw out more and more nonsense. And now the narrative's like, well, it's a good thing we have a Hall of Famer running our scout team in practice. Great. He's practicing against our defense, which is already good. So how's that going to help?
It means so much these final 3 weeks. No, I don't get it. I really don't, as my ears just fall off my face.
So I don't know. The more these guys talk, I'm just not even interested. I don't even care. And like they said, I was
more offended by the Joe Flacco comments. Yeah, we don't regret that. We were good. We made the right decision there.
Well, it's a lose-lose comment though, because if he says, you know what, yeah, we should have made a move. Well, then it's kind of indictment on your locker room. Like you had no faith in the guys you have in here, so they're gonna be like, Coach, what are you saying? So he kind of had to do that. But the most interesting thing, what bothered me the most. And I was going to do a video on, I'm like, you know what? It's going to be coming off really negative. It's like, yeah, we should learn from the Cleveland Browns to see how the Cleveland Browns have dealt with the adversity and how they're on their 4th or 5th quarterback. And they're still playing at a very high level, winning football games.
With O-line injuries too.
Bro, it's called fucking coaching. Like it's no mystery here. The fans, we have been saying the same shit since week 2, week 3, week 4. Every week saying the same thing. It comes down to coaching. The Cleveland Browns are a much better coach than the Jets. Now you got to do a deep dive and figure out what they did. Seriously? It's called roster development, roster management, and coaching. That's how you win football games when you face adversity. That's what it is. There's no big mystery. Now you're going to study the Cleveland Browns?
Well, it's the same quarterback. Idiots. I mean, look what the Jets did last year with Flacco, and look what the Browns are doing with him now. It's obvious.
They were winning with what? What's the kid from UCLA, whatever his name. Dorian, what is it? Dorian.
Oh, yeah. Thompson Robinson?
Yeah, him, PJ Walker. They were finding ways to scratch and claw with a great defense and offensive line issues, changing quarterback, winning games. But now they're going to study the Cleveland Browns. Bro, like they make so many excuses. Like I don't it just drives me crazy. Because like this year's like a learning year for the Jets. Let's learn how to deal with adversity and learn how to deal with injuries and let's figure it out. Meanwhile, you blew it last year. Last year, you had the same shit. You couldn't figure it out. You fired the coordinator. You bring in all new talent, and you still can't figure it out. Not study the Browns. Study the Lions. Study the Rams. Study everybody.
You can pick anybody.
Take your time. Trust the
You
process. Take your time. You got 2 more years to figure it out. What the hell's winning at this point? Nobody's getting held accountable anyway. Fucking.
I just don't know what the plan is.
There's
like,
no plan.
Everyone's coming back. Woody Johnson already said it. Like,
the plan is kiss Aaron Rodgers' ass and beg him to save you.
But that's what I've been saying, though. I mean, of everybody in the organization, this is what I did my long rant on. Like, I trust him because he's been a part of winning teams. He's been a part of a Super Bowl winner. Like, I trust him 10 times more than I'm going to trust Douglas or Saleh or Woody Johnson finding the next GM and the next head coach. Like, we almost have no choice but to just sit back and hope these guys get better. I don't like advocating for anybody to come back. Like, they all should be fired. But, like, what other option really is there?
That's the problem. And the biggest problem I have is that you have a very desperate Woody Johnson. He's desperate now because now this is his Aaron Rodgers experience ready to blow up in his face. He's desperate more than he's ever been before. You have a general manager and a head coach both on the hot seat. Next year is legit playoffs or bust. If you don't do that, you're getting fired. Absolutely, you're out of here. How they handle that? Because it used to be build through the draft, do this. Now you're selling your soul, dude. They're going to get all players to do their best to win next year. And if it doesn't work out, it kicks us in the ass for a couple more years, dude. Like, it literally, this is not a blueprint for long-term success. It's not. They're selling their souls now because now they have to. That's not, it never works. It never works well.
Probably not, but it also depends on if you're able to keep the core that you put in place last year with Sauce and Brees and Garrett, Jermaine Johnson, AVT. Is he part of your future as well? What do you draft this year? Is Will McDonald, like, does he take the next step next year? Like, if they have that young core in place and they ultimately give themselves time to build after Aaron Rodgers because they do win something with him, then you're fine. But if you don't win with Rodgers and now all these guys want out, then you're basically starting over and you're trusting Woody Johnson to pick the right GM and for that GM to pick the right coach. And that's been 13 years and we haven't gotten that right. So,
and then the comment here is watching Bakhtiari, Aaron Jones, and Robert Tonyan coming next year is the problem. Like, that's, you wonder, Aaron Rodgers coming back, how much say he's going to have in personnel? How much are they going to rely on him and Hackett? Because you need Hackett guys for the offense. Worked out real well with Alan Lazard this year. I mean, there's so many concerns I have, and it's just, because you just look at the vision, dude. Like, you're looking for this blueprint of success for this team. What Joe Douglas' vision is, he doesn't have one because he couldn't build the offensive line. So that's
and that was what he came in as his first year talking about his offensive line and protecting Sam Darnold and all this shit.
And then it's like
quarterbacks. You could say 3 quarterbacks he's ruined.
And when was the last time a Robert Saleh coach team won a big game, like a game they had to win, like a meaningful game with everything on the line? They haven't.
No,
they've lost all of them. There's so many questions you have about him, dude. It's just like, man, like it's.
But does the quarterback make the difference? That's
the thing.
Right now.
And he's been hurt for 2 years. He got hurt this year, and he was hurt the year before with his finger. So he hasn't played. He hasn't been healthy in a couple of years. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Like, you want to buy into it. I was all in this year. I was 1,000% all in with the Aaron Rodgers experience and buying in with Hackett. But next year now, it's like I just have so many questions, dude. And I just don't trust the organization. I don't trust any of them. And if they truly bring back everybody and don't fire a soul, that is just complete insanity. That just truly shows there's no level of accountability anywhere in this organization. There's not.
Unless Rodgers didn't want anybody to get fired.
Bro. So we'll bring on a bunch of callers. We'll talk about whatever you guys want. Are you happy? Are you sad? Your faith going forward? Are you ready for Elijah Moore? What's that?
I'm just numb.
Yeah, I don't even care, dude. Like, I don't know. Like, the guy, I was in the gym tonight. The guy's like, yo, the Jets won the game. I'm like, yeah, it's, I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, we're out of it. Like, 75% of teams in the NFL are still eligible for the playoffs. 75% of the league. And we're one that's not. We're the other 25%. It's insane. Absolutely insane. So
we haven't had a meaningful December game since the Buffalo disaster.
And this is the question that is an honest, fair question. What if Rodgers isn't the same when he comes back? It's a fair question, man, because
what if he is
older? That's it. But what if he is? What if he isn't? There's 2 ways to look at it. You can look at the cynical Jet fan and be like, you know what? He's 40 years old, coming off a major injury, hasn't played well in 2 years. There's that. Or he is ridiculously motivated to prove it wrong because he wants to prove that his science is great and he's still a great player.
And even if he is 70 to 80% of the quarterback that he was 2 years ago, that's still how much better than anything the Jets have had. So
Yeah, but is that good
that's
enough
still
to make you?
significant.
Is that good enough to make you a Super Bowl team?
If you're getting the same production from the defense you've got the last 2 years, it could be. At least a playoff team. You give yourself a chance in January.
I'm going to my first Jet game this Thursday, coming down from Michigan. That's awesome, man.
Nice, man. Enjoy it.
Browns fans, get there early, dude, because those parking lots sell out fast. Their parking lots, those guys don't mess around. They're tailgating. Remember, like it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. They were already full for the one game I went to down there. It's craziness. So we haven't. Should we start with the? Do you want to start with the interesting callers, or you want to go? Because I don't.
I guess.
I don't know what to expect from this call. I see what it is, but I'm not sure if we should cross this path this early. What do you want to do? Should we try it?
We could go for it. See what happens.
What are the chances this works out well? I have a feeling this isn't going to.
First, that could happen.
I mean, did you get your Victory Monday tweet from Steve?
Did I? I haven't been on Twitter. I have no idea.
Yeah, I got it. All right. What's up, Coach Saleh?
How you guys doing tonight? I'm taking a break from the film room. We just want to check in with you. We'll see how you're doing.
How is the energy in practice today?
Best week of practice we've had in weeks. We're getting ready for Thursday, Tyson. I think we're in good shape. Let me just double check my receipts on that. Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah. We had I don't know where I put my receipts. They're around here somewhere. But yeah, we had a great week of practice. The big news I wanted to share with you guys, it hadn't come out yet, but I want to break it with you fellas, is I had to put Zach on IR. He is suffering from a bruised ego and hurt feelings.
Oh,
yeah. So he'll be out for the week.
That's unfortunate. So do you have any concerns? A lot of the fans are questioning your coaching staff, and we're hearing that there's no changes. Everybody's going to stay. Is that true, Coach?
That's what that crazy old bastards told us. Yeah. The reason we're not worried is because we have guaranteed jobs. What better shit show could you have than the New York Jets with guaranteed jobs with a bunch of losers? That's the way it goes. So, we're pretty happy. We, it's a process. We're getting closer to the end of the season, that is. But, we're doing our best. We're grinding away every week. And we know we suck, but we have a guaranteed job. So it's okay.
Kevin, you got a question for him?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about the turf at MetLife, but I'm more curious to get your thoughts. What's your opinion on the stairs at MetLife versus some of the other stadiums that you've been able to run up and down?
I will tell you, prime time, these are the best stairs in the league, without question. They really they're perfectly laid out. They're perfectly spaced. The field is total crap. We get that, but the stairs are awesome. What we've been talking about as a team, we've been talking to Woody. We're thinking about next year playing out in the parking lot because we think that might be a little bit better than that shitty field that we have. Well, you play out in the parking lot, you get some bumps and bruises, a little bit of road rash, but that's about it. We'll be okay with that.
So, Coach, an interesting comment today in your press conference where you said that Joe Flacco reached out.
Tyson, hold on. I'm just looking for some receipts. I think I dropped here. Okay, I got it. Okay.
So there's a reports that Joe Flacco reached out to you guys, but you said you weren't interested, kind of similar to Carson Wentz. Can you explain the mindset of turning down established veteran quarterbacks and playing Tim Boyle and Zach Wilson instead?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's a great question, Tyson. I think it comes down to our team philosophy that stubbornness and stupidity go hand in hand. That's there's no reason to have a backup quarterback when we have all our eggs in the Zach Wilson basket. And it blew up in our faces, but fuck it, we have guaranteed jobs. We're not worried.
Coach, when was the last time you talked with Joe Beningo, and how did that conversation go?
Oh, that old motherfucker! I don't talk to him anymore. Fuck that guy.
He ratted you out, man. That's not a good look.
He's that old fucking big nig. No, he's a rat bastard. I don't talk to him anymore. I'm putting Connor Hughes on speed dial. Fuck big nig. No.
So, Coach, the one question I've been really interested in is who was the ultimate decision maker to bring Zach Wilson back as the backup quarterback this year? Was that you or Joe Douglas?
Well, actually, that's a great question, Tyson. It happened to be Woody, and I'll tell you what, if you want me to share the story about that, we had we have the check-in with Woody every week. We go over the game plan, and in the preseason, I think we were up in Woody's office. He had the big chain on, and he was dancing around like Flavor Flav, and he probably had a little bit too much Jets juice in him, and he just said he spent all this money on the Golden Boy, and he wants him to play. And Joe said, well, I don't know about that, Woody. I don't know if he's that good. And I said, I don't know about that, Woody. I don't know if he's that good. And Woody owns the team. And Woody said, fellas, it doesn't matter if this shit show goes down to shit. You got guaranteed jobs, play the kid. And that's all she wrote.
So now, since you talked to Woody so much, there was a lot of controversy where you guys won a couple games, which was great, but then you went out and raised the ticket prices and then asked for the money early, which was unprecedented for season ticket holders. Were you aware of that? And what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, another great question, Tyson. I got to go back to the film on that one. I'm going to have to plead the fifth. I'm not involved in the business aspects. I know Woody's he's a billionaire. He's a greedy old bastard. And, I understand that, why not, get the money a year in advance. And, think of it this way. If you were a paying customer and you saw this train wreck this month and every other month of this goddamn season, would you really want to pay advance for this shit?
Mm-mm.
Never. So, Woody's a sharp fella, get his money in advance. But again, I got to plead the fifth. I wasn't part of that decision. I think Chris came out of his billionaire cave and they sat down and they said, how can we hose the public even more and make them pay up? And the promise of Aaron Rodgers coming back next year, well, why not?
Okay, I got another question for him because this is unprecedented access we're getting right now. We haven't had this in a while. So, Coach, a lot of fans wonder, since you're the CEO type of head coach where you oversee the offense, you oversee the defense, but you don't call plays, do you ever actually get involved and talk to your players on the sideline and figure out what's going wrong on offense, which has been historically one of the worst in the NFL? Or do you kind of just say, you know what, you watch the tape and talk to Hackett on the side?
Well, I'll be honest with you, Tyson. I don't do jack shit. I cash my checks. I stand on the sideline. Sometimes I stand so still pigeons land on my head. But beyond that, I kind of watch. If things go good, I like to cheer a little bit, a couple of high fives. When things go bad, I try to ignore it and dream it away.
Okay. And then I guess another really important question that a lot of fans want to know is, do you use Just for Men on your beard? A lot of fans are accusing you of dyeing your beard, or does it just grow in naturally that dark?
Actually, neither. And that's another great question. I use Just for Sharpies.
Coach, could you explain why you said last year why it wasn't your job to motivate players as a head coach?
Well, when I got the job, that wasn't on my job specs there, prime time.
Okay.
So
I think that, grown men who are making millions of dollars, they have to find that intrinsic motivation within. And if they're stinking up the joint, that's really on them. And if I'm
so
stinking
another
up
question I have, pretty much the whole theme of Hard Knocks was, you and your cliches and your Instagram speeches. And you're talking about closing the gap within the division, how you have to finish this year strong. Obviously, 2 years in a row, it's been the same thing. So how are you going to change up that speech for next year during training camp?
Well, that's a great question, Primetime, but I'm really not going to change anything up. I'm making a tidy living off my T-shirt sales. So I try to come up with as many T-shirt worthy cliches as possible on and off camera. And that's kind of like a side hustle in case I do get shit canned at some point. So I'm just going to keep rolling out those cliches, as much as they fall on deaf ears or are not applicable. I'm, just look at me as the NFL version of a fortune cookie.
So, Coach, one of the interesting things is Alan Lazard has been horrific. Your marquee free agent signings has been awful. but every time we see him either in practice or getting ready for the game, he's playing on a soccer ball. At some point, do you think you should practice with a football, or is a soccer ball something unique that you do for him?
That's a great question, Tyson. That's honestly a work in progress, though, because at the beginning of the season, Lazard started out with a badminton shuttlecock. So we weaned him off that. Okay. We got him over. We got him to work with a dodgeball, and then we kind of moved over to a soccer ball. And I think we're hoping by the end of the season we'll have at least worked over to a Nerf football, if not a pro NFL ball. But it's a process, and you just have to trust the process for each and every player. And we'll get him there. He's a fine young man. He works really hard, and we'll get him to where he needs to be.
Do you feel this team through 3 years has lived up to the all gas, no brakes motto so far?
Well, you're speaking about gases and flatulence. I would say yes.
I can't do no more. Can't Prata.
I was referring more on the field, the team being more aggressive and playing, 60 minutes of full four quarters. Do you think they lived up to that?
Let me, Tyson, I just want to share some. Check this out.
I will strike when least expected.
Okay, now I'm just, I'm thinking about another T-shirt slogan there, my friend. So, prime time. What was the question again? We were talking about
all gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. That was that's really the number one seller of my T-shirts. So
more than 60%, really.
It really, I like to, leave it up to the individual T-shirt wearer. If you like to think of all gas as unleaded, that's fine. You could think of it as high test, but that's probably really pissing in the wind because there's nothing high test about this goddamn team.
So, Coach, we apparently we bought into the Hard Knocks scenes and the Aaron Rodgers and the whole thing of you got to become the Dragon. Do you think at any point this season you guys became close to the Dragon, or is that maybe a next year Dragon story?
Well, Tyson, don't you think we've been dragging ass all year?
You're killing me. She's just, oh shit. Okay, bro.
I think a lot of that Hard Knocks has been quite prophetic, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, Jesus Christ.
At any point this year, did you go to Joe Douglas and ask for a change at quarterback? And were you turned down?
Well, like I said in the preseason prime time, there's not a man in that locker room that I would want to exchange and go into battle with, except of course for the quarterback and the offensive line. But I went to Joe and I told him that the quarterback room was probably as bad as it's ever been in the history of football. And Joe's sitting up there cutting his coupons, and he didn't really want to spend any money. So we kind of got stuck with what we had. And as they say in Gay Paris, c'est la vie.
So do you have any concerns about Joe Flacco and Elijah Moore lighting you guys up on Thursday night and kind of blowing it up in your face?
Oh, hell no. I got a guaranteed job. They can lay 70 on us. Wouldn't matter.
It's true.
And you know what? I'll tell you, all credit to them. They're they're a great team. And Joe is having a really revitalized career. I think what's he about 450 now or so, something like that. And Elijah Moore, well, you know what? He's a fine young man. We had to throw his ass out of here because of poor attitude, but he has potential, and I think he'll have a long career.
Now, what was behind the Michael Carter release? Was it something did Michael Carter ask out, or were you trying to get the locker room, attention to your locker room, or what is it?
Oh no, we were just appeasing the fans. We needed a sacrificial lamb. He was the easiest one. Throw his ass out. He wasn't doing anything anyway. And it also opened up a roster spot not to use Izzy.
Did you have any authority at all during games like New England to actually bench the quarterback, or was that decision out of your hand during the game?
Do you remember the old 1960s TV show Batman?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Woody's got the red bat phone right down to the sideline.
No, that's what
Yeah, so Woody really makes all the calls. So, like I said, I really don't do much except cash my checks and come up with some T-shirt slogans. So all those decisions are really Woody. We're on the sideline, and I'm kind of looking around, dreaming about Selma Hayek, and whatever else, looking for a vendor to get me a soft drink. But Woody makes the calls.
So one of the interesting things is a lot of times this year your team was completely blowing up where it was like melting right before your eyes and you stayed ridiculously calm there, which was kind of either good or bad. I'm not really sure. How do you stay so calm underneath the storm?
Oh, prescription drugs.
That'll do it.
Okay.
Lots of them.
So
But then how do you turn it back on? Like when Quincy Williams makes a big play.
Oh, well, I got some of these little blue pills.
So another interesting situation is Aaron Rodgers. Once you guys lost to the Dolphins, Aaron Rodgers was not going to play the rest of the year, but you guys decided to activate him on the active roster anyway and take up a roster spot, which means you have to cut somebody. Can you explain the thinking behind that?
Well, you know what? You want to revisit the earlier question about selling tickets and having them paid for a year in advance. I mean, if you think about it, who in the right mind would pay for this goddamn team a year in advance without Aaron Rodgers?
But we can't see him in practice, though, so we're not really seeing anything.
Oh, Tyson, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Gotcha. So one of the concerning aspects of the last game is you guys blew a 20-point lead. At any point were you going to sit and talk to your defense and maybe try to rally them and get them to kind of get their heads out of their asses?
Oh, no, that was part of the game plan. We knew we were having a very strong half, and we just felt it would be a little more competitive if we spotted them 3 touchdowns in the second half, just to keep keep everybody on the same page and ready to finish the season strong.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on the fans that want you guys to tank and lose your next 2 games?
Oh, fuck them. Tanking's for losers. Tanking's for losers and toilets. And that tank guy you have come on? I seen him call in.
Yeah, random man. Yep.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, no, tanking's for losers and toilets. There's a lot of pride in professional football, and I understand, the fan base wanting a better draft position, but we've shown that, with the exception of one draft, we can't draft worth shit. So it really doesn't matter where we are in the draft. We'll fuck it up somehow.
I got nothing.
Got died over here.
Tyson, I see quality football's getting you a bit choked up over there.
Yeah, I mean, so now you're heading into you're heading into a year next year when, in the eyes of many, that it's a win now, a Super Bowl or bust kind of year. If you don't go Super Bowl, you're probably going to lose your job. Do you feel any pressure to win next year? Because you didn't have any pressure this year.
Well, you know what? I got my T-shirt hustle on the side. I've been banking all the money I've been stealing from Woody. So, I've got a pretty good nest egg. I'm sure I can be a defensive coordinator somewhere if this gig doesn't work out. But, you can't go in and feel too much pressure. You just got to stay the course, trust the process, go in every week, work hard, and, believe in yourselves and believe in each other and, believe in the game plan. And if you don't have that, well, you're fucked.
Well, now, another interesting scenario this year was where Sean Payton attacked your offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett, and called him one of the worst, one of the worst coaches in football, all these different things in Denver. And you and your staff came out and said, Hackett's a great coach. After now seeing his offense for almost an entire year, do you regret backing him so much against Sean Payton?
What do you think?
You're the coach, man. That's your guy. I mean, you were pretty adamant that Hackett's a great coach, but we haven't seen that yet.
Well, when I say, what do you think? I was hoping that you might give me a good answer. Because, listen, I don't think there's any denying how terrible our offense has been. It's been downright offensive. That was a pun. I'm sorry.
Okay, so then you had when you cut Michael Carter, what you said was you wanted to give Izzy a lot more reps because that was kind of you saw the development. But then a week later, you said that Izzy wasn't ready in pass protection, so he wasn't really ready to play. So which one was it? Was he ready to play or was he not ready to play?
Well, he was ready to play as long as he didn't have to pass block because he hadn't picked up that yet. But we're still working on it. It's a process, as I've said. He's a fine young man. He's been working hard in practice for the past, 7 months or so. And he's coming along. And we're hoping by week 17, he'll have the basic protections down. We can put him into pass block a little bit.
So then Izzy is a rookie. He's having problems with pass blocking. What is Dalvin Cook's excuse?
Oh, he just sucks. He's stealing more money than I am. I think we're as a matter of fact, based on his production this year, we changed the name on his jersey to Cooked.
I guess prime time. We could do. You have any more questions, prime time? Okay, so
anything you could do differently in training camp to clean up the self-inflicted wounds for next year? Probably my last question for you.
That's a good question there, prime time. But to be honest with you, I think the self-inflicted wounds are what make a season interesting.
Oh.
And without those, things would be a little bit too perfect and a little less challenging. So I think we just have to trust the process. I think we have to have great weeks of practice. We have to keep supporting one another and do our best.
All right, Coach. First of all, thank you for your time. I know you're a very busy man. You got a game in 2 days, so we definitely appreciate your time.
Tyson, don't kid yourself. Don't kid yourself. I'm sitting here playing Fortnite in the film room.
So now that you have almost 3 years of Zach Wilson underneath your belt, tell us truthfully what you really think about him.
You really want to know what I think?
I mean, it'd be nice.
He sucks ass. The kid's a great kid, but he sucks. Okay, he can't play football, and it wasn't my decision to take him. I was heavily medicated during the draft, so I was really not on board with the pick. But the kid sucks. That's it. What more can you say? Can't read defenses, can't see the field, can't get out of his own way, and he can't avoid stumbling and falling on his ass when you set him in for a game. So that's about it. He sucks.
Did you intentionally tackle him during that one game?
Actually, I was trying to do some WWE clothesline stuff on him.
That's what it looked like.
Looked like it.
But I just figured that if I hadn't horse collared him, he would have just kept on running right out of the stadium.
So now, when Aaron Rodgers last year, he went into a darkness retreat. Would you ever consider that for yourself?
That's where I've been for the past 14 weeks.
Would you ever consider ayahuasca?
That's part of the medication that I've been discussing with you earlier.
Fine. Okay.
I fire up one of those ayahuasca blunts every night just to deal with the pain of coaching this shit show of a team.
And I guess the last question is, how do you explain the incredible amount of injuries on the offensive line the last 2 years?
I don't.
I'm done. Coach, thank you so much. How was your Christmas, by the way?
Oh, it was a fine holiday. I have 13 kids now. I'm very, very pleased with the family. The whole brood was there. Santa treated us right. Santa is, he's happy to come to the coach's home and give us a bunch of new merch. Not for the Jets, of course. We root for other teams in my house. Winning teams. Well-coached teams. Successful organizations. But if I could share with your listeners, Tyson and Primetime, I do, at the holidays, it's a time to be thankful. And I have one wish for the fan base. I hope that all of you can find another team to root for so that you are not burdened with lifetimes of misery and heartbreak forever and ever.
Coach, thank you for your time tonight. Happy New Year. Beat the Browns hopefully on Thursday. We really appreciate your time, man.
From your mouth to God's ears, but I wouldn't be betting on it.
Have a good night, man.
Appreciate
Have
your
a good
time,
night.
Coach.
Happy New Year.
Have a
Happy
good night.
New Year.
Tyson, what the fuck? What just happened?
What is just, I mean,
What just happened?
this is what happens on this show. This is what happens. And just so you guys know, that was not planned. We had no idea he was coming on at all. That was just,
Did we just do a half-hour interview with a Saleh Muppet?
we did. We just did a half-hour interview with this is what happens when we lose. We're out of the playoffs in December.
That's what happens when you don't do the interview.
Bro. I mean, this it's
What
just
happens?
oh my goodness. Well, that was our interview that came out of nowhere. We appreciate Coach Saleh joining us. I'm sure the blowback from this is going to be tremendous.
I don't even know how we top that now.
Yep. This is never a dull moment on this team. I mean, this show. There was something. You know what? I wasn't sure what I was laughing at more because I would look at him. I'd look at you at your freaking antlers, and I just couldn't do anything. I was just like, this is ridiculous.
Antlers and Muppets.
But this is what we're doing. This is what it's come down to. This is what losing does to us. So I don't know how we top that. I don't know what we're even doing. Do you really want them to beat the Browns? I mean, I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to get their asses beat.
I don't care either way, honestly, at this point. I haven't.
I wouldn't mind to see a competitive game. I like to see Garrett Wilson get his catches and his yards and get 1,000 yards. But all right, I guess we should probably go to a real caller now. What do you think?
Let's go for it.
Where should we go? Let's go to. Should we have the rebuttal? Because he did. Coach Saleh did attack one of our callers.
That is true. That is true.
Do you have a rebuttal for Coach Saleh?
No, I caught strays out of nowhere. I didn't know what was going on.
So, are you upset the Jets won on Sunday?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'd be a hypocrite if I wasn't. Of course, I'm upset that they won on Sunday.
So when they were getting ready to kick that field goal, were you like, "Oh my God, miss it," or you're like, what?
Yeah, I was living. I was livid. I was like, I had the phone next to my ear. I was right in front of the TV. I was like, okay, but I
So where does that put us on the tankathon?
I think like 9. It's not good. It's not looking good. So it's time to put on a brave face and address the troops.
Oh.
The tank is over. I started it here, and I have to put it away. We're waving the white flag.
What else going on with the show tonight?
We were bad, but not bad enough that we couldn't beat a Ron Rivera dumpster fire. We were just good enough that we somehow managed to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat that we earned. We earned it. They blew it, but it wasn't enough. So now we will go on in our own directions. We might root for the Patriots to win so we could still somehow finish last in the division and get an easier schedule next year. Amen. But that is for you guys to do. I must leave you here. This is where it ends. This is the end of the line. We will still be here together. We will be in this together. I have recovered from COVID, but my mental harm will not recover from what I saw on Sunday. That's it.
Bro, we've got 2 weeks left.
Our tank commander's leaving us.
I'm not leaving yet.
Now with 2 weeks left.
What are you saying, Sergeant?
They can still get a top 5 pick.
It's not happening. It's not happening.
Still happen.
You're
the commander of this tank. You can't leave now.
It doesn't work. The Chargers don't have a quarterback. The Giants play the Eagles.
Yep.
We don't have a quarterback.
Again, the Commanders aren't going to win. The Cardinals aren't going to win. New England might win. We could jump them, like I said, but it's not happening.
What's the highest? What's like 7-6? Like what's the highest we can get?
I mean, I haven't. I've kind of just been in a slump ever since. But like,
Oh,
technically,
but you're our tank commander. You got to give us this updated information.
If the Jets lose this week and the teams in
there
front of
is
them
a.
win,
I
how
don't
much
under.
can they
There's
move
like
up just
a
in 1 week? I
still.
wanna
They
know.
could still technically get up to 3, but that's like. But that's like the 2% playoff things. Like that isn't gonna like the
Come on, man.
0.1%.
That's all we
chance.
have.
What?
That's all we have left is a 2%.
Yeah, like that's not, but it's not realistic though. It's not going to happen. You would have to lose out, and then every other scenario would have to go right for you.
Technically, right now we're only 1 game out of the 5th spot
Yeah,
with strength of
Come on.
schedule to be
You're our
determined.
tank commander, man.
No,
You gotta
no.
rally. You've got to rally around this.
I'm in
this
prime
line.
time state of mind now going forward. I'm just here
Come
for
on.
the ride.
You got to move
Whatever
up 4
happens,
picks.
happens. I honestly, I kind of want the Browns to still win because I want Joe Flacco to eliminate the Ravens in the playoffs. And I think that would be really funny. So, I'm just kind of rooting for that. And for that to happen, the Browns have to be the 5 seed. So you got to root for them to win.
Can you imagine it's Joe Flacco and the Browns against Darnold?
Lamar
and
Jackson in the second round, by the way. That's how it would happen. At Baltimore.
I think it's funnier. The Jets today said they didn't return Joe Flacco's phone call. They didn't want him. And they come out Thursday night and just lights him up for like 350. That's the more fitting story.
But here's the thing. I was thinking about this with Joe Flacco. He would not have been good on this team. We've seen him. We know he isn't good on this team. It's the fact that the Browns have a semi-decent offensive line and they can work around him. Like he wouldn't succeed here.
It's coaching. It's coaching, dude. They let him drop back and throw the ball. Just air it out. Don't be conservative. Just downfield, vertical, get after it.
Yeah, but even then, I don't think he would have had enough time here to like really do what he's doing with Cleveland. I think he could have probably gotten hurt, like the whole Rodgers argument. Even if we signed him like week 4, he wouldn't have survived. He would have just immediately crumpled.
He's
but
better than Tim Boyle.
Yeah, but it's all moot. Doesn't mean anything anymore.
We've lost him.
But yeah,
Tank Man is defeated, dude. He is literally defeated. What
I
little
have to own it. I came in. I was the leader, and I go down with my ship. And but I'm not going down alone because what was
there you are.
What is Steve's last? What is Steve's last name begin with an R? Is it Steve R?
Traney, Trane.
Okay, good. That was a different Steve. Steve R. Whoever the fuck Steve R is. I saw a comment on a different one because I was trying to see if other people were angry like me because I want to form my opinion based on others. And somebody said like, finally somebody's happy about this. I had to turn off those Let's Talk Jets radio guys. They're too positive. And then I was fine with that. That was all fine.
What?
And then there were 2 middle finger emojis. And I'm like, you're going to get it, Steve R. So I don't know who that is. I told on you. In your face, Steve R. You're not welcome here.
No, we too positive. We're never.
So if I'm going to catch strays from Saleh, sorry. You're too negative.
Okay.
Back to the grandma with the wheels and the whatever. Yeah, what if? Whatever. But yeah, you guys are great. You guys do what you do, and you do what you have to survive, just like I have to watch this garbage. How are your holidays? Were they good?
Not too bad, man. I'm looking at a guy with antlers on his head right now. I mean, what could possibly go wrong at this point?
Exactly.
So this shows a disaster. Tank Man, I hope you rally by Thursday night and get your mojo back.
Maybe I'll get back into it. I don't know. But the helmet's to the side right now. We'll see you, gentlemen.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Oh, this show we had a special interview to start the show, and then our Tank Man quit on us. We played taps while he was quitting.
What is happening?
This is some show. And I wasn't sure what to expect today. I'm like, I thought this was gonna be like a quiet,
that's what I thought.
Being on and off in 45 minutes. So now we go from the coach to our tank commander quitting all the way down to Australia. What's up, man?
Hello, boys. I'm on the tractoring at the whatever you tractor, slashing the paddocks.
Where the hell are the kangaroos at?
Oh, it's too hot for them bastards. It's friggin' about 1,000 degrees today. That's why I got the big hat on. But Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone.
Merry Christmas. How was your Christmas?
And happy Darren Bowl week. Jets versus Browns.
Yeah. Who you rooting for?
Yeah, my Christmas was normal, mate. You know, normal Australian Christmas was hot as buggery. Kids, you know, my kids are getting too old for the Christmas thing now, so every gift you give them is like they're not allowed to show any ounce of happiness. It's all got to be like, ugh. You know, you got old kids like teenagers, mate. They're unimpressed with everything, so it's all good. No, my Christmas is good. Seeing the Browns win another crazy game. Flacco's just playing like he just doesn't care. It's just, I'm just going to throw this shit up and whatever happens, happens.
What the hell is going on behind you? Are those
picks
birds behind you? What's that?
I feel like birds are in a fight.
Oh, is it? Probably where? Oh, I don't know. There's always shit out here trying to kill each other or us.
It's like something's going to come like swooping down.
It's like a horror movie. Also going to be it gets shot.
Oh, it might be a magpie. Might be a magpie trying to get me because I'm near its nest or something. Ah, piss off. No.
You hear them? It sounds like a million birds behind them.
Right behind me. Oh, they'll be right, mate. But don't worry about them. They'll be sweet. If they peck me, I'll just.
Are you all bought into Joe Flacco though?
You know what? For me, because I don't have a deep rooted, like, you guys live and die with the team because you've been supporting the team for decades. I'm just new to this, having a team to support in the NFL. So for me, it's just purely entertainment, and it's fun to watch. I think if he had come into the team maybe like round 3 or round 4, things would be a lot different because he'd be playing a lot less. But the Browns are playing with house money, so Flacco's playing like that. They're calling games like that, and it's just, what's he say? I can't really see because of the sun. No, Crocodile Dundee, mate. That bloke just put all that shit on for you Americans. But I mean, I've heard the talk about everybody saying like we should have just copied the Browns. We should copy the Browns. I'm not sure if that would have worked, and I sort of. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, right? And everybody has it. And the Browns are sort of forced to make the decisions they made by injuries. Like, a lot of people forget that Flacco wasn't really on their radar until Deshaun got put on IR. And then they were still going with PJ Walker and DCR. And then DCR got hurt. I can't even see the comments, so whatever you say.
You don't want to see.
You don't want to see them.
That's all right. You can say whatever you like. I don't give a shit. I'm laughing. I don't even know why I'm laughing. They must be good. I can't even compete with that first caller. What the hell was that?
Caught us off guard too.
I don't even know why I'm trying to have a serious conversation about football. I don't care, Tyson. I don't care who wins or loses on Thursday. I really don't care whether it's the Browns or the Jets. I hope the Jets lose just because of the draft position.
There you go.
I mean, it's a big game for the Browns. Need that game. That's a big game for you guys, man.
Well, they need it to solidify the playoffs. But if the Steelers lose to the Seahawks, then they're in anyway. So I don't think it's not life or death. But I mean, I don't even care. They get to the playoffs and they lose in the first round. Like, it's all house money at this stage. There's big controversies, though, of course. Coach, what are you saying, Elmo? Somebody reads me what he said. I don't think something. What did he say?
It's just Elmo's. He's just the chat's just having fun. Man.
Elmo's worried about getting eaten by a dingo.
Elmo, you got a lot to say for somebody who's got another man's hand up his ass constantly.
Oh shit!
I can't see your sledges, everyone, because the sun's in my way. But anyway, well, I have one question for you guys, and then I'm going to let you go because I can't really see anything. Hindsight's a wonderful thing, and I know that everybody's a genius after the fact, but if you were to point to one mistake that was made by collectively the front office and the coaching staff this year that truly prevented the Jets from making the playoffs at a minimum, what do you think that was?
Not having making Zach Wilson the backup quarterback. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
That was your biggest demise, dude.
I just can't believe that, like, what was it in the preseason that made them think that he was going to be...
I think they got fooled by how he looked in training camp. Because in training camp, when you're not worried about getting hit, you can stand up in the pocket, you can make your throws.
Yeah.
He looked comfortable, he looked confident. But it's also much different once you actually get out there on Sunday and things are going 100 miles an hour, and things haven't slowed up enough for him yet where he could do it on game day.
But if you compare that to like the Josh Dobbs thing, right? So Josh Dobbs was obviously on Cleveland's roster at the start of the year. The preseason and training camp was enough to allow the Browns to say, we're going to get rid of this guy for a 5th round or whatever they ended up getting. I think maybe a 7th rounder. Then he comes back, he starts playing well. The Browns are sort of winning and losing, and everybody's like, oh, can't believe you cut Josh Dobbs. Now we see what he truly is. I can't believe that the Jets didn't have that same insight into Zach, considering they've not only seen him for a preseason, they saw him for 3 years. And I agree with you. I think the biggest indictment that should have got everybody fired was that decision.
Yeah, but I mean, the
or
team.
should I say that lack of decision to get another quarterback?
The team literally quit on Zach Wilson last year. They literally quit on him.
That's
That
right.
right there is the ultimate indictment of what kind of player he is. And then you can't say, you know what, he's the backup next year. No, like the signs were there last year that he shouldn't be there. Like he needed an entire year off. And he's probably going to be traded last year to get him out of here. Ridiculous.
I think also, like, if you're a player, right, the first person that you look to, not even a player, but even if you're an employee somewhere, the first person you look to for a level of authority would be your coach.
Yep.
So you see that decision being made and the coach getting up there and I'm pleading the 5th and blah, 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 etc. You're sort of saying, like, who's really running this team? Like, is it really you, coach, or is it somebody upstairs? And once that happens, I know there's a lot of times where they say they lost the locker room and this and that, but to me, if you're Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, all the players you mentioned earlier before, Tyson, that you want to see them win, how do you turn up to work every day knowing the bloke up to the front yapping on about his 75th, motivational quote of the year that's turned into a poster or a T-shirt? You're just sitting there in the meetings going, who is this bloke?
Yep.
And then you have to rely on a guy coming back from an Achilles injury, possibly coming back to give yourselves a hope in hell. Like, just all of that situation just makes me sad. It makes me sad for you guys who I tune into each week and I see your ups and downs that rise with the team. And it's like, and I know it's a cliche to say that the fans deserve better, but in this case, and I've seen with the Browns, like the Browns had a shit organization for years too, but the Jets fans as a collective truly deserve better. And hey, look, it may not end up being a winning team, but you deserve better from freaking management and ownership. Like, just, and I want to laugh at the Jets, but I can't because I like you guys too much. But that's enough sap for me. This shows.
But
I
dude,
can't believe anybody would say this.
It's 13 years, no playoffs, dude. I mean, it's ridiculous at this point. Like, even your average rebuild is 4 years. Even like the worst teams find a way to fall into the playoffs every 5-6 years. We can't even do that. It's mind blowing at this point.
I look at and I don't want to compare them because it's not the same situation, but like around the 6th, when Deshaun went on IR, I was pretty much that the Browns' season's over.
Yep.
So for them to be able to scrap and scrape and get themselves to the playoffs on the back of the defense, and for a lot of games, their quarterback play was not competent.
It's coaching, man. It's coaching. It's great defense, special teams.
I mean, a lot of people will laugh at this, but the best fucking trade that the Browns made all season was for their kicker. And you guys know that the punter and the kicker the Browns punter and kicker are out. Two of the best players on the team are out on the weekend. DCR just went on IR, so the Browns are down to I think they've got to get another quarterback for the emergency.
Yep.
They've got no kicker. So the game I reckon the game is going to come down to your defense is going to be able to stop our run, and you're going to be able to get to Flacco because the O-line is injured and the 2 tackles aren't very good. So I think if you can get something going with the offense on your side of the ball, but
Trevor Siemian can't stretch the field, dude. His arm is limited.
Which is good. Yeah, and your O-line is so trash that I think that's going to be. That's going to be the win or lose. I think it's going to be a low-scoring, ugly as hell game, and Flacco's going to throw some crazy long bomb, and that will be the difference.
I agree.
But
Darren,
anyway,
thank you for calling
guys,
me.
that's enough
Thank you for
from
calling me.
me.
Appreciate it.
Happy New Year. Happy
Happy
New
New Year, man.
Year.
Happy New
Thanks
Year,
for
man.
the kind wishes in Twitter. And what are you? I can't even see what Primetime's wearing. He just looks like
My antlers.
looks
Got
like
my
Kermit the
antlers.
Frog from. Yeah, I
Antlers.
can't see because of the sun. All right. Hopefully, I won't die from birds or snakes or whatever. And I'll see you in the
Careful,
new
man.
year.
Have a
Go
good
Jets.
Happy New Year, man. It sounded like he had like cicadas behind him or something like that.
Wait, like he had what?
Were they cicadas? What the hell are they called?
Cicadas?
Cicadas. Because like, dude, it was so loud. Like Jomo's crickets are loud. Those things were friggin' really loud.
I really thought something was going to come like swooping down and just like.
It's like a
snap
horror
you
movie. He
away.
sees like his
Yeah.
head get chopped off, like
Jurassic World or something.
be one way to get ratings. My God, they had an assault live when they're on YouTube.
Caller Eaton on the show.
Yes, primetime is not being held hostage.
My parents, all right?
All right. Bubs, how you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
Oh, whoops.
How you doing?
Some,
Oh, you changed rooms. What room are you in now?
the room next to the room I was in before.
We're used to that the jail cell look.
Yeah, the walls. Yeah, that Saleh interview was so funny. The eyebrows were so like bushy.
Bro,
Funny.
it caught me
He
completely
didn't
off
have
guard.
enough ums for me though.
Yeah.
He needed more ums.
That is true. He had the questions down though, where he's like, "That's a good question. That's a fair question." He says that every question he gets. That was definitely spot on.
No, he
But-
hit some pretty ones.
Yeah, no doubt. And then yeah, they're so lucky they won that game because you have 2 hours before the game the Woody Johnson vote of confidence. Like if they would have went on to blow that game, the fans, we would have just been. I mean, like there's no coming back from that. If you say, "Oh, we believe we got a winning culture," and you blow a 20-point lead to the 4-10 Commanders at home in December, like there would have been no coming back from that. So that would
Yeah,
have
but
been terrible.
nothing would. I think I would have been
No,
more
nothing
mad
would've
by
been-
that because nothing's going to change. So it's just like they can
No.
lose, doesn't matter. It's ridiculous.
It would have just been more incompetence from the organization for people to laugh at us about. That's what it would have been. There would have been no changes. Doesn't matter. But
So wait, hold on though. So with that 54-yard field goal, were you rooting for it to make it or miss it?
I'm kind of 50-50. I don't.
No.
I was rooting for him to make it. I'm rooting for him to make it.
There you
I
go.
wanted him to win.
He's
I root for
anti-tank
wins.
as well.
I root for
I
wins,
knew it.
but
I knew it.
kind of what I'm numb to. Where if they lose, better draft position. If they win, everybody's coming back, so might as well win. There's not going to be any changes if they lose or whatever. So it's like it's pointless. But
Better draft pick.
I was
though.
rooting for a win. Yeah. What do you say?
Better draft pick though.
Yeah, but I mean, I also
Joe
know
Walt?
it's like
Arm
wherever
Harrison.
they're drafting, Douglas has got to be able to hit on it. Whether it's 5 or whether it's 10, his job is to find the best talent available at that spot. And I don't have a ton of faith in Douglas, whether he's drafting 1st overall or 10th. I just don't, because outside of that 2022 draft class, he's failed. I mean, look at his first pick. We all thought we were getting our guy in Becton. He passed up on Wirf. So it's not crazy to think that he would have passed up on Alt to take somebody else because we've already seen it happen before.
Look at Zach
so
Wilson.
it's just like, yeah, exactly. Zach, there's been plenty of examples. So
I
there's
think
a good chance he wouldn't be here.
I think the bigger indictment is his later round picks. We were talking about this on Sunday, where they did a thing on the Rams and all the Rams contributors from the draft, all in the later rounds, 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round. All these like quality players are finding in later rounds. Where's Joe Douglas finding all these guys? He's not like his drafting's been suspect. I don't know.
Remember, the Rams were supposed to have like 5 bad years in a row once they sold their soul to win their Super Bowl.
Yep.
But they're right back in the playoff mix right now because they have so many young guys on cheap contracts playing well.
Yep.
Yeah, all their pieces are all like Les Snead. He's done a great job. The only guy I can recall that Douglas has found was Carter. That was 5th round, I think it was. Michael Carter.
Yeah.
But that was also the
Well, he got
2021
Bryce Huff
draft.
too.
Which,
Bryce Huff was an undrafted
Well,
guy.
undrafted.
Huff was undrafted. He's found a couple. Like Quincy Williams was a waiver claim. JFM was a waiver claim. So there's a couple. But when you look at other teams, like they're in Rams 3rd and 4th rounds, they're all making plays right now. Like the Jets, that's just not the case.
Well, his mantra was build the offensive line and build through the draft. He hasn't done either one of them.
No, the offense line is brutal.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
And the head coach highly suspect.
Yeah. I have a couple of questions though. One of them on the offense line. Would you be okay with Bakhtiari coming in?
No. I mean, for what? Let's clarify this. So you're going to say Becton's going to leave, Dwayne Brown's going to be gone. So basically, is Bakhtiari going to be like your come in day one starter left tackle?
Yeah. Would you be okay with that?
What if
I wouldn't be if Rodgers wants it. That's the thing.
what if you bring in Bakhtiari with Becton?
I don't.
To
Have
be
you
honest,
watched Becton this year? What
Yeah,
is
I bet
everybody's
you.
fucking
You
infatuation?
hope for one
already?
of them.
like choose one or the other.
No, like you bring in both of them, and you hope that during the course of training camp in the season that you have at least one of them that stays healthy.
Come on, man. What are we doing
No.
here? This is
I would.
ridiculous.
I'm not pro. I'm not.
What other
I don't
options
want
do
it.
you
But
have?
Becton's
Becton
just.
Becton hasn't been playing well. I think he's probably
He's
playing
got.
hurt.
I think he's got 13 or 14 penalties in whatever it's been, 15 games. I mean, it's basically getting a penalty a game, and he's gotten. I mean, he's gonna have his hands full against Garrett. That's gonna.
No,
be
but he's
brutal.
looked lost. He's looked slow, and it's like he's probably trying to play as many games as possible to get to disprove that he's injury prone. But if you're playing hurt, you're not playing well. You're doing yourself a disservice. So
Yeah.
Keep a contract for him then.
That's why I think they might. That's why I have a weird feeling they're going to try and bring back Laken Tomlinson, or they're going to bring him back because he plays every snap. That's just my. I wouldn't do it, but
Does he
I
play him
wouldn't be
well?
surprised. No, he doesn't, but he plays every snap. That's probably going to be
He's
there.
a human though.
He's a human. To make it, I don't know. But that's the thing. Like even if you get all, you're still like to go into an off season needing 2 tackles. Maybe Carter Warren could be your swing, but Billy Turner, Max Mitchell aren't any good. Like you need 2 tackles, plus you're gonna need swing tackles. So you need even like massive depth. It's just
and
the
you need a
offensive
guard.
line is such a
I mean,
guard.
and you need an
And
offensive line
ABT
coach.
too. You need somebody behind him because he's injury prone. Like I think that's fair to say. He's been hurt 2 years in a row.
100%.
Like he's so good. It's unfortunate that he can't stay on the field, but like if he goes down, you're gonna need somebody to fill in. So it's
All right, so we just need 5 offensive linemen. No
yeah,
big deal.
that's all. Out of all the I don't think Douglas has found 5 quality offensive linemen since he's been here. Other
I don't
than
think so either.
Might be
ABT's
right.
been the best guy.
Well, Moses, I guess.
Moses, all right, yeah.
They
Fant
let him
was
go.
pretty good. Yeah, they all let them all go. Exactly. That's
It's
brutal.
ridiculous.
But and then the other question was like, what do you think if we get Huff back? What do you think the contract would look like? Like
enormous.
At least $15 million a year.
Because pass rushers get paid, dude, and he's only scratching the surface. He's like on the rise. He's gonna get better.
Bigger question is Joe Douglas going to be hesitant to pay him because he just invested a first-round pick in McDonald and Jermaine Johnson the year before?
Bro.
Yeah, I mean, you got to bring back Huff.
You got to bring.
I mean, you
back,
can't.
Dude.
So then, why did you draft pass rushers in each of the first rounds the last 2 years?
Best player available. That's his mantra.
I don't know why he drafted pass rusher this year. I mean, McDonald. You hope he takes a year 2 jump like Jermaine Johnson, and he's kind of in that similar path.
He almost took a running back this year. According to Met reports, there's a running backs he wanted in round 1 this year.
He probably would have been. They would have played Cook over him. I don't know why they didn't take a receiver. They should have took a receiver or offensive lineman, but then obviously they traded up. The whole edge rusher was confusing. That pick at first was just so confusing because you don't need edge rushers.
They were in no man's land, dude. Once Broderick Jones was gone, they were in no man's land. They were just stuck.
You had JSN, you had Mayer, you had Zay Flowers.
Well, Mayer was already gone, wasn't he? He's already gone.
No, Mayer was still there.
No, he was. I thought Mayer was gone already.
No,
wasn't he?
He was still there. I remember those were my 2 options. I wanted the just to pay.
JSN when you got Lazard and Cobb.
I didn't know that's people. I didn't celebrate the picks. I had no idea who Will McDonald was. So I was like, who? Oh, Mayer went top of the 2nd round. I thought he went the 1st round.
I thought it was end of the 1st, but yeah.
I was shocked. I never even really heard of Will McDonald. I was shocked we even took it.
I had no idea who he was.
I never heard the name. I don't think.
Yeah.
I was like, who? What?
And then even receiver too, it gets interesting to see how they approach that. Whether they bring in a guy. I mean, I know like Malik Neighbors from LSU is really good. I don't know if he's probably gonna be 1st round town. He's really the number 2 behind Marvin Harrison in this draft, but it'll be interesting if they go draft the guy. I mean, I know like Roman Wilson's a possible target from Michigan is pretty good. I don't know if they'll go draft
not having a 2nd-round pick also.
Yeah. Or if you do you think they go both receiver during the draft and maybe a Mike Evans or a Devontae Adams or something?
The question
like
is,
that?
do they give up their 1st round pick for Devontae Adams?
I don't know. I have a weird feeling Devontae Adams is going to stay in with the Raiders.
So too.
I think he's kind of believing in Antonio Pierce. I just think he's going to stay there personally.
Who's that quarterback though?
Yeah,
they could bring somebody
in. True.
He went there, or at least he said he went there to play with Carr. So
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
not
but
able to come.
just say in theory, Devontae Adams stays with the Raiders. Mike Evans will probably be one of the hottest names out there. He's going to probably go to. I mean, that's going to be the
I
guy.
look at I'd pivot to like T Higgins then. T Higgins and then
He's
draft
gonna be
somebody.
He's gonna
And
be expensive.
yeah, but I mean, they all would be. I mean, you're gonna have to. If you go Higgins, you hope that Gibson can maybe fill out. You have Higgins as your 2. You'd hope Gibson and Brownlee can maybe fill out your 4 or 5. I don't know, like potentially. And you're gonna have Lazard obviously back, which he'll just be kicking soccer balls around. Still, that's why I draft another one, because then you have 3 at least you feel good in, instead of just one free agent and then banking on Brownlee and Gibson as your depth plus Lazard.
Well, you got to figure you're probably. I mean, I'm guessing they go offensive line first round. If you go offensive line first round, no second round pick, you're getting receiver in the 3rd round.
Yeah, I think there's that one kid from Florida State. I forget his name. He's really tall. He's lanky, but I think some people have concerns about like his speed at the NFL level.
Keon Coleman.
What was that?
Keon Coleman.
It might be. I know he's from Florida State. I'm not sure his name, but
Beast.
I know he's got some size to him. I know he's like really tall and lanky.
Yeah, he's 6'5". Monster.
Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. They got a lot of work to do. This might be more than a retool, but I don't know. And then there's concerns. I know. I think there was a comment earlier. Rodgers is going to be 40 and 41 next year with it coming off a torn Achilles. Like, you don't know how he's going to be. I mean, if he's just like, I know Primetime you said, if he's just 70% of what he is, that'll be the best quarterback we've seen in a very long time. But there's still concerns, and then the offensive line's got to mesh, and you actually have to bring in offensive linemen. I mean, I think if Rodgers would have played this year, something would have happened eventually. I know he gets the ball quicker and he processes, but this offensive line is so bad. I mean, that Miami game, there's no way he survives. I mean, Becton, there was
the Dallas
Becton
game, he would have died.
Yeah, exactly. There's plays that Becton and wasn't putting arms on Parsons or Chubb, like he was running right through. And I think Flacco too. He would have been done here as well. He would have came here,
and that's what everybody keeps talking about. Oh well, Rodgers comes back. Like if you're keeping the same offensive line coach and the same coordinator, everything's staying the same. I'm like, I have no faith in that at all. The offensive line this year, even though there's injuries, are playing terrible. They're like they're lost out there.
Yeah.
So
the offense, it's brutal.
So nothing's gonna change no matter what then.
Nah, they're bring everybody back. I mean, they've got to fire Carter, Downing, or somebody.
I think Carter definitely has to go.
Carter definitely. Like the whole Carter thing was perplexing too, because you've heard bad things about him, and they're like, "Oh, bring him on board. It's all good."
Yep. Yeah,
Rodgers.
It's so funny. We were warned about Hackett. We were warned about Carter. We were warned about all these guys.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
They just need to play with Rodgers. That's all.
You look back on it too now. That all that Champagne stuff, he was so right. And then winning that Broncos game, like looking back on it, you're like, if they would have lost that game, then Hackett's true colors really would have come out, because everybody was all proud of Hackett, all supporting Hackett, and all this time Hackett or Peyton was right. It's just
should have known.
A disaster.
Bubs, thanks for calling, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Later, dude.
Have a good one.
It's so funny. Even Bubs now is like just completely demoralized. He used to be, we used to have to break him. We used to have to kind of like give him a couple comments, kind of bring him down because he'd be all excited and positive. He's a broken man now.
What Jet fan isn't broken right now? Other than maybe Steve, who's enjoying his Victory Tuesday. What fan right now isn't broken? It's 13 straight years of not making the playoffs. In almost every one of those years, you haven't even had meaningful games down the stretch. You've been eliminated like a month before the season ends.
I'm talking to a guy.
You haven't been able to go to a home game and watch a playoff game in 21 years. How are you not miserable as a fan? Paying for your tickets for next year. Paying your PSL. How are you not fucking miserable right now?
Oh, well, I'm not paying for my PSLs. I'm not paying for any tickets.
Exactly.
I'm happy.
You're not.
Hey, man. What's up, Afram?
Not much. How you guys doing?
You got a haircut. You're looking sharp, my friend.
Yeah.
You look 10 years younger.
You do. You look like you're like
you 10 minutes younger. What are you sitting on the bowl over there?
I'm on the floor.
This show
Oh,
is tonight.
Oh, sad New York guy.
You know, Afram does seem
I'm
happy.
always happy. What am I going to be sad about?
Exactly.
Huh?
So, Afram, with the 54-yard field goal on the way, were you rooting for the make or the miss?
I was rooting for the wind to shift as far left as possible. I wanted that ball to like hit a fan on the corner.
Yep, me too.
That's the spirit.
But it is what it is.
What is your take on this Aaron Rodgers on the active roster thing? Does it bother you at all, or is it just weird?
It's to say he came back and he made to the team. That's all I can see. He came back and he was ready to be on the roster. Big deal. He wasn't going to play.
But
So
why have him active? Does that even make sense though? He's not going to play.
But to say that he can be put into a game, he's ready to play. Right.
But if he didn't even want
what they're trying to prove, I have no idea.
It makes no sense. It's just stupid.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. He was not going to come back and be put into a game. You're not going to put him in a game that's meaningless. Not behind this offensive line.
And you have him running the practice. You have him run the practice team now. Great. So he's doing 11 on 11. It's wonderful. This serves no purpose. It's like, it's not going to be the same team next year. There's going to be all kinds of changes next year. You're going to have the entire offseason. It's not really, nothing's going to really carry over.
It's just to be in the headlines. Keep them
so
relevant.
weird.
Keep them relevant.
Oh, Elmo
that.
taking
Magic
shots.
does that.
Afram greater than NYJF.
I've not been.
We did a show 2 weeks ago.
I thought I was MIA.
No, it's the NYJF group that just takes off every couple of weeks. Just they're like have their own schedule.
Holidays are tough.
Pick on Kevin Day.
I know.
Well, it's not really Kevin. It's Jay. It's Fireman Ed. It's Rob Carpenter. It's celebrities, man. A lot of divas over there. They can't be bothered during they got busy schedules.
Holidays are tough, man.
You need a set of new candidates for the show.
Yeah, we should give Kevin. We'll give him like Coach Saleh, who just came on. We'll give him Tank Man.
Tank
Man's gonna have his
He's
own show
defeated.
eventually.
Even
Poor
he's defeated.
Listen, let's see what happens. Let's see how much money they can recoup and for the free agency first before we even talk about the draft.
Their cap isn't looking all that great for next year.
No, not now. But we see what happens off season. What happens? How much they get if they restructure some contracts. But I don't know who they can restructure anymore. I mean, mostly maybe
like 30 times.
Extended.
Who can they cut? They can cut Tomlinson. They can cut, right?
Tomlinson, Uzama.
Tomlin, you have to cut after June 1st. Otherwise, you take a big hit. They did a lot of restructuring this year. They paid a lot of money out.
Because Jordan Whitehead's a free agent. Carl Lawson will be gone.
Right.
You think JFM is safe? They're trying to re-sign Huff.
You franchise Huff, it's going to cost you $20 million a year.
Yep.
That's
you can't franchise anybody. They can't franchise nobody.
No, they can't.
Are we going to the game this week? Are you out of your mind, Troy? What are you, nuts? With Cleveland?
Not even for that $199 right there. I wouldn't buy a ticket.
But I mean, you figure, who can they restructure? Aaron Rodgers already restructured because he can't do him again.
Unless they restructure him again, unless he's willing to, give back some more money. We'll never know. But
JFM,
Mosley, what did I see that? There was Mosley, and there was another contract that they could have worked out.
Quincy's going to want a new deal.
I don't know. Unless they pay out a little bit more money and convert it to bonus for Quincy.
Maybe they restructure Quinnen. Quinnen's new deal.
Quinnen, I meant. Quinnen. I apologize. Yeah. Quinnen, yeah. But you hear Connor Hughes saying, and then several other people saying they can bring it up to $60 million. And I don't see it.
It's got to be. I mean,
I don't see it. I don't know where they can go up to $60 million. Connor Rodgers said the same thing.
But how though? I mean, because if you just say if you trade Zach, that's a cap hit, right?
Zach's dead. You're stuck with his $11 million regardless, even if you trade him. It's not like a post. There's no post June 1st. Doesn't do nothing for you. It's just $11 million. It's dead. The only thing you could probably do is renegotiate his contract and extend it
Oh,
You know, the
extend it.
dead money over the years. I don't know.
I'm gonna just
You know, they'll keep him. He'll get
Technically,
money
they
when
could
he's
get rid
not
of
playing.
Mosley.
So that's
Technically, they could get rid of Mosley. I mean, they would.
he's
They
their
would take
team
a $10
captain.
million
he's a
hit.
but his contract he can renegotiate. There was another person there with a high contract because after him, there's really not much.
Well, you have Tomlinson,
Yeah, but
DJ
if you look,
Reed, who's not going anywhere. Uzama, who's going to get cut. Conklin, maybe. You want to save
Conklin's
$5
still
million?
good though.
Conklin,
I think JFM could be interesting.
did they
You
renegotiate
might
his
be able to
contract
trade
already?
him. You might be able to trade him.
They restructured him already.
Who's that?
I thought they did.
JFM.
He signed an extension. What, like 2 years ago?
No, but did they I think they restructured him
They restructured him this year, didn't they?
to bring more money in.
Yep.
They gave him they paid out they cashed out on his they converted some of his salary into a signing bonus.
Yeah.
Because they could still save over $7 million with him. $9 million.
Well,
hit.
whatever they do,
I'm
they're
guessing
going to
it's
have
a freedom,
to
though.
if they're going to go after free agents, they're going to have some money in their hands.
And you need to run stuff.
Well, if you want to re-sign Huff, you're going to have some money.
I don't know if they're going to re-sign Huff now.
Al Woods was a 1-year deal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you need a run stuffer. I mean, you can bring Solomon Thomas back again, but you need a legit guy in the middle.
How old is he now? 37. Al Woods. I mean, he did a good job, decent job, but
I'm saying if you go for a younger version, you still need somebody to replace him. That's money you got to spend on him.
yeah. And who's going to be available? And who's going to want to come to this team at this point, even with Rodgers?
Everybody.
Nobody.
Exactly. So it's gonna
be
a tough
interesting
situation. This is what happens when you have a meddling fool owning your team.
It's the truth. I don't think. I mean, I just don't think the Jets as a team are as desirable as everybody thinks they are. I really don't think they are.
No.
Coaching the hot
Stadium
seat
doesn't help.
What's that?
Stadium doesn't help.
Stadium doesn't help. The state of your team. You're a losing organization and no playoffs 13 years. Aaron Rodgers on a year-to-year basis, basically year-to-year. Coach and GM on the hot seat.
Yeah. And if you let them both go, he's going to pick the guys he wants, and he's going to still interfere with what they do.
Yep.
So there's no one scenario unless he finally realizes, hey, maybe I should step back and do. But then you've waited too long because you've had opportunities to allow things to happen, but you didn't.
It's a mess. How are you feeling for the Flacco Elijah Moore revenge game Thursday night?
Care less. Please.
Come on, man.
What revenge? If we win, what happens?
We get revenge.
For what?
For what?
All the times the Browns beat us up.
Listen, I'm hoping other teams win, except us. The highest we can go is 4th.
This makes up for the Mark Aspinall roughing the passer. We win Thursday. Let's go.
Yeah. So, and that means a lot of teams have to win. Right now, we're 9th.
Uzama post cut would be save $8 million. He's gone.
Yeah, Uzama's definitely gone.
Yeah. Uzama's gone. I think
Lakeland
is another 10 million, I think, if they cut him post 6-1.
He's been bad.
What if he had season-ending injury, right? He's having surgery, I assume. Like, if he's still injured, isn't there something with that? Like,
they would have. I don't know when it comes to injuries as far as how the money is. Can they recoup that? Or
you're a cap guy. Come on.
I'm not a cap guy. What am I?
Supposed to be our cap guy.
Mike Tannenbaum over here.
That's right. You're supposed to have our cap guy. We have these tough questions here.
But it's like, I don't know. I keep seeing that 60 million in some articles and interviews. I just don't see where they're getting the 60 million from.
Well, I mean the thing is too, you can create a lot of cap space, which is wonderful. But then you got to replace all the guys you cut to get there. That's the problem. It's easy to say cut this
and a top 10 draft pick is going to be a high cap number also.
Yeah, but we don't have as many draft picks we usually have though. So it's like
my thing was with the draft pick is the higher they go, then they can their pick is more valuable to trade down with.
Which is fair.
Because I'd like to recoup the 2nd round pick.
Yeah.
I
would too.
Because you might be in a position where the player you want is either gets picked ahead of you or
like last year.
Yeah.
And they'll just sit back and watch it happen.
Take a pass rusher.
No, D tackled this year.
So Afram, and being all honesty, what is your level of confidence going into this offseason with this organization?
None. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's up in the air. You don't know what's gonna happen. You know, every year we look good on paper, but either someone gets hurt or someone. But it just doesn't. I hope we have a bad off season, and it becomes good on the regular season.
Because every offseason we think they nail it and they bomb out.
Maybe we don't nail it. Everyone makes a fool out of us, and then all the players turn out to be good. So
we're all going to be fired up come July. We know it. Doesn't matter who
now you're going to you spend all the money on a guy who's already injury prone. You're worried about Becton.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't want Bakhtiari. It's so obvious he's going to come here, but it's not. It can't be your answer.
It's not.
Well, it can't be the only answer, at least.
No, you gotta. I mean, I know you mentioned the point with Rodgers would have been there, would have made a difference. Only way it would have made a difference is if he was able to make plays quickly. Would have forced the defense to play differently and not blitz every time. They knew going after the guys we had, you just blitz them and they weren't going to do anything.
Yep.
You know, where a guy like an experienced guy like that, he can one play, he burns you, and then now you have to play back, and that makes it easier for your offensive line.
Oh,
but we didn't see that. So
John Frank Lamar, is this true? Post 6-1, $14 million savings?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
He was not, I think, like $9 million before.
But who do you replace him with?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, if you're paying Huff, you just gave Quinton Williams a huge contract.
Yeah, but he doesn't play the inside.
A big contract. Jermaine Johnson's going to get paid in 2 years.
But it's Huff in that position, the inside.
Nope.
You know,
no, you'd have nobody then, because you have Michael Clemens and Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, Clemens needs to pick up his game. He needs to lose a little muscle.
They're going to have to subtract somewhere if we're going to add however many offensive linemen and receivers that we're talking about. So
you're so screwed. Jesus Christ.
You don't see any.
Okay, it's going to be okay.
The problem is we don't see any clear avenue.
Nope.
You know, nothing's clear here.
We don't know the free agents out there yet.
You know,
but just because you're a free agent doesn't mean they're going to come here. Like the Jet fans are so fucking funny, dude, because they go through the free agent list, they take the top guy at every position, be like, all right, we're gonna sign this guy, and this guy.
Sign this guy, sign this guy, sign this guy. Let's
not coming here.
Let's give it back to Harbaugh, who's never going to come back to the NFL.
No,
okay.
And T. Higgins isn't coming here either. The Jets aren't going to spend big money on T. Higgins because they got paid Garrett Wilson.
Maybe.
No,
we can get Mike Evans.
What's that?
We could get Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, possibly because of his age. But
it would be a short-term contract. You play with Rodgers. You got to experience what it was like having Brady come to the Bucs.
There's other teams that probably he can go to and win with.
Actually, winning teams.
Well, he can win here too.
Yeah. Hope
he saw what the Bucs were before Brady got there.
Would you rather go to the Jets or the Rams?
We don't know what the Jets are with a quarterback though.
But I know what the Rams are, a winning organization with a very well-coached team.
Okay, so maybe the Jets are that with a quarterback.
No, you sign a 1 year. Does he sign a 1 year with the Ravens?
Exactly. Like there's so many teams I'd rather go play for. The Aaron Rodgers mystique is gone. He's coming off an Achilles injury, and the Jets suck.
It's not gone.
Period.
It's
Does he sign a 1 year with the Chiefs, who are desperate in need of a
fucking A? He would. They're desperate for receiver help.
Once we get back to training camp, and him and Sauce are doing the.
Yeah,
you're gonna need it.
You know why they do that? To tolerate Hackett's shitty play calling.
I think those antlers are putting too much pressure to your temples.
No, you know what Kevin's doing? I'll tell you what Kevin's doing. Kevin's trying to put all this shit into his head to justify the season tickets he purchased. That's all he's trying to do. He's trying to justify his payments.
Well, it's partially that. It's partially also, I mean, how many weeks did I have to put up with your positivity in this miserable season? So I'm going to make sure that over the next few months, I deliver at least some of that back to you.
You can bring it back, but I'm not buying it. I will not cave into it. I'm not buying none of it at all.
You will.
Nope.
At this point, we can only take it day by day.
Some people just choose to be negative. Other people choose to embrace positivity and see the light at the end of the tunnel.
But there is no light. Our tunnel is full of.
I'm going to get you there, Tyson. I'm going to bring you with me.
Right now, it's like the light in your living room when you do your streams. It's very dim.
You're Even this room is darkish. I got two little.
No, I
lamps
actually
here.
have more light in that room than.
Right now, it's the light on your Let's Talk Jets sign.
You look like you're grounded. You've been punished.
I should be.
You locked them in the room. You're in
Why
for
are
the
you
night.
standing by the door? Are you worried about someone's going to come in?
Oh no, it's just a garage door. Wow.
He's waiting for.
What a disaster this show
I
is
don't know.
tonight.
It's
Holy
just,
shit.
previous years I'd be optimistic. Hey, they can do this. They got this. This is available. We can do this. But now,
Wait till June. You'll be back.
no, not June. You can't wait till June.
You'll be
It's
back.
going to be March.
No, the first sign will be
That's right,
free
OTAs.
agency.
Once we do
No,
OTAs.
it's free agency when
Right.
Primetime has his hopes up high in free agency, waiting for the T. Higgins and all these guys, and we set up for like second and third tier guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then Afro will call in and talk me into all of them.
Not one bit. No, I'm not. I gotta see how much money they have before, and that's the first step. Is the free agency. We'll see which way they're gonna go in the draft after the free agency. They need offensive linemen. They need some younger.
O-line and wide receiver. That's all we need.
That's not that easy. It's not like you got O-linemen sitting out there waiting
Haven't
for
done it
you
in 5
either.
years.
You got to have a steady guy.
We got Carter Warren too. We got Carter Warren.
You got to get guys playing together for a long period of time. They need to gel. You can't just.
Mitchell's been here 2 years, going into year 3.
But they haven't been together playing at one. All together at the same positions.
He's been in and out.
Yeah. Everybody's been in and out. It hasn't panned out.
They need more time to gel. That's all it is.
Kevin's he's drunk now and he's grasping at straws because
they
no
need
way
crutches.
More time to gel. Maybe a new coach.
They need crazy glue.
No, I hope they got to make some moves on the assistant coaches at this point. That the only one I tell you, if I can get what's his name, was it Callahan?
Oh, we've been saying that for years, dude.
I wish they would put
We had him.
money.
We had him.
Or his assistant.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's grooming somebody.
But the thing is, Afram, who's going to want to come to a coach that's on the hot seat? There's no stability here.
But if you get an assistant, right?
But why
and
be
make him, you what you call it? You got something on your resume as an offensive line coach, and you can move on for it. All these guys will go. They know they're going to end up in a team that needs help. All right. No one's going to get the ideal situation because the ideal situation is already taken if they're on a.
But if you're a high level quality offensive line coach, you're not coming here.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying if Callahan has an assistant, right? He's grooming.
Great. Now we're hiring the water boy now.
You might have to. You might have to. It's probably better than what you got now.
That's actually true. Probably.
Okay. If he's learning from him, just like Boyd learned from what's his name, Westhoff, right?
Oh yeah.
Our special teams coach learned it from Westhoff, right?
Yep.
And he turned out to be pretty good. So
now Afram's new plan for us is we're going to go hire all the water boys, all the top offensive line
water boys. Let's not
even the dog is pissed off at your take.
He's mad at you. He's mad at the antlers. I think he thinks it's another dog in him.
I'll take the Niners water boy on offense.
Why not?
That's got to be an upgrade.
If a guy is being groomed in that position, it might pan out.
Wish I was being groomed for something.
Okay.
Other than pain.
Stop with it.
What do you do for New Year's, Afram? Anything good?
Nothing.
No fancy dinners or anything?
No. I had a fancy lunch, late lunch today with my associates and my manager. We were at the Del Cristo's Grill in
there you go.
in Hoboken.
There you go.
I had an $86 steak.
Look at you living a good life.
It was all right. I don't know how they charge 86, but it was good. I can't complain.
Did it look as good as some of the ones that I've cooked on here?
Not as good. No, not as tasty. Not as delectable. There you go.
Tonight is a disaster. Well, Afram, thank you for calling, and we appreciate all your insight on the cap that you didn't give us. It was awesome.
That's fine. You stay on that course. I want to wish everyone a happy new year, and let's start off with 2024 and
The year of the Jets.
2024 year of the Jets. Let's go.
the year of Saleh.
Oh God, we need more than that. Have a good night, man.
You got to be well.
Have a good night.
All right. Somehow this show is an hour and a half, but the reason why is we did a half-hour interview with a special guest tonight. So,
That was unexpected.
yes, let the show been over at 9 o'clock. All right, what's up, man?
What? Oh, I just woke up like Joe Douglas from that Monday night game a couple of years ago.
Oh, no.
The Detroit Pistons have lost their 27th game in a row, a new
Saw that.
NBA record. Damn.
If only the Jets had lost their fifth in a row on Sunday, everything would have been great.
Oh, brutal, man. So how, are you? Well, your Seahawks here. How you feeling about your Seahawks, man?
Yeah, big win.
Big win.
I'm gonna backpedal like PT
Knew it.
I knew it.
after he called it.
Yep, I knew it.
Aaron Rodgers was. I do not want PK to go
Exactly.
anywhere.
I told you.
I never said anything like that last Monday. If you have it on video, it was AI.
It was,
that's
it was AI. Listen, man, as a content creator, you should know better. You can't say those crazy things because that's what happens. It comes back to smack you in the ass.
Always does.
I learned that from PT.
Listen, whatever you think I said about Aaron Rodgers, I never said.
It's true. I saw it. I heard it.
These antlers won't stay on. That tape has never been shown. It's never been turned up. Everyone keeps saying it exists out there. I've never seen it. So
Okay, PT, since you don't reply to comments on the videos you make,
Damn.
I have a question for you.
go for
You
it.
and so explain to me, how the fuck do you hit a moose?
Wait, what?
How do you hit a moose?
Yeah. How do you hit a moose?
What do you mean?
You said in your video on your way back from Buffalo, you hit a moose.
No, a deer, not a moose.
A deer.
You hit a
Yeah. I wasn't driving. Jay was driving. And actually, good thing he was driving because, like, he could have swerved left. He could have swerved right. He just plowed straight through that thing and it shattered into, like, pieces. But because he just kept going straight, like, that kept us alive because we were on 80 or whatever it was.
How do you hit a deer?
Huh?
Dude, there's a lot. Dude, Jose, I pass deer every morning when I drive, man. Going up the Garden State
Yeah, me
Parkway.
too, my parents.
We see
There's
tons of
deer
deer all the
in our
time.
yard right now.
Yep.
Wow. I've never seen a deer in my life.
Oh, this Jersey,
What?
dude. We have Jersey deer. Our deer have attitudes, man. They literally walk up to the car, like, try hitting me. They don't care.
My parents have this flock of like 8 deer, like same time around like 4:30 when the sun's going down. Almost every day they come by, walking right through the yard, right by the cars.
Yep.
Every day.
All right. So on this question, on Sunday when the Jets were up 20, how drunk were you, Tyson?
I mean, it kicked in a little bit at that point. It was a boring game, dude. We had nothing else to do but to drink. So what are we supposed to do?
I was watching you on the computer, and I was watching the Seahawks game on the TV, and I'm like, of course the Jets are gonna win, and the Seahawks are gonna lose. Then the Seahawks won.
Yep.
The Commanders took the lead. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
this is gonna be a great weekend. Then their line gets the game-winning. I'm like,
Yep.
ah, fuck.
Yep.
Fuck. Excuse my language.
It's fine.
We had Robert Saleh on this. I think I'm safe.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
you're good, man.
This show is a whole complete chaos tonight. Completely unexpected.
Speaking of that, I was told, I didn't enforce it, but I was told that technically you shouldn't have been allowed to co-host tonight because you didn't watch the whole game.
Who? Him?
You
I didn't watch the whole game.
You left the stream with 5 seconds left.
Oh,
The chat was saying you shouldn't be allowed to co-host tonight. I'm
bro,
like,
you should have told me. Dude, I had no problem coming on tonight. I could have fucking dread night off. I'm down. I have no problem with that. Jose, what are you doing?
It was like one comment after the other. No, you can't stream Tuesday. You can't stream.
You should have messaged me. Send me a message. Hey man, you're off Tuesday.
On New Year's Eve, I am doing what I did last night.
Sleep?
Getting plastered.
There you go. Are you streaming too?
I don't stream while getting plastered or getting high. That's when I really say.
We still owe the fans a rap battle.
That's true.
I'm ready whenever you are.
I'm always ready.
I stay ready.
I was born ready.
Stay ready so I don't have to.
I don't have to stay ready because I was born ready. I'm always ready.
I stay ready so I don't have to.
I've never not been ready in my life.
Except when it comes to answering comments on videos. I'm not ready for that.
And when it came for the Jets to.
Oh, now it's to the point where I'm getting direct messages. Bro, I commented on his video. He didn't respond to me. I'm like, why are you messaging me? Message him. Here's his Twitter account. You messaged him yourself.
I'm getting to every single comment this weekend. I promise.
That wasn't me. I did not message you. I messaged you Merry Christmas. But
yeah, and I messaged you back.
Yes, both of you. I
messaged you first. See, I said the tone.
Yeah, yes.
See that?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I also
Jose, have a good night, man. I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Good night, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy
New Year, man. Happy New Year.
Later, dude.
Later.
All right, prime time. I know, Matt. I respond to all the comments. All my videos are up to date, current. Hundreds of comments. Done. Oh, so what's your update, Armand? How many pounds are you down to? Did he say? Did he give his latest update?
I haven't seen an update in a while.
He usually shares like the pounds. Yep.
No, see, maybe in Tyson's world, when I reply, I send like 2 paragraphs in my responses. So
you're so full of shit.
Go back to the videos from September and October where I was commenting on every comment, except I have like a full paragraph when I answer people.
He's down 190 pounds in 20 months.
Good for you, man.
That is incredible, dude. Holy
awesome.
shit. What's your goal? He went from 484 to 294. Damn.
That's crazy.
That's incredible, dude. Congratulations. That's fucking awesome. All right, prime time. Thursday night football. Me, you, Joe Flacco, Elijah Moore, and our awesome chat. What can possibly go wrong Thursday night at 8 o'clock?
We need bingo. We need booze.
Lots of booze. Lots of booze. I'm getting hammered Thursday night. I'm working from home on Friday too. I got no repercussions. I gotta be up early Friday morning. That's fine.
You're right.
Fuck it.
My goal is not to even be able to talk by the second day.
We'll see you guys Thursday night at 8 o'clock.
See you guys Thursday.
Later.